In Budapest, at a grand opera house, we meet Joe, a seasoned hitman blending seamlessly into the crowd. On the surface, he's just another theater-goer, but in reality, his eyes are locked on his next target. The audience settles as the show begins, and Joe silently moves upstairs, his every step calculated. Suddenly, one of the target's bodyguards notices a shoe poking out from behind a curtain. Suspicious, he approaches cautiously, but it's a trap. With swift precision, Joe dispatches the guard with a knife and hides the body before moving through the corridors, eliminating another guard along the way. Joe finally reaches the target, who panics and tries to negotiate for his life. Triple the payment, he pleads, but Joe, he's not swayed by money. One clean shot, and the target is dead. The woman with the man screams silently, but Joe gestures for her to stay quiet. As Joe prepares to leave, something unusual happens. His eyes meet those of Maze, the opera star performer, down on stage. It's just a moment, but it's enough to distract him. And then, the unexpected, Joe feels a sudden, sharp headache and dizziness. He brushes it off, leaving the chaos behind, unaware that Maze's world is about to collide with his in unimaginable ways. Downstairs, another bodyguard finds the scene of carnage. As panic spreads, security springs into action. A frantic shootout erupts, leading to a jaw-dropping moment. The bodyguard leaps off a balcony, crashing onto the stage below. The opera house descends into chaos, as terrified audience members trample each other in their rush to escape. In the commotion, Maze is knocked down, her phone clattering to the floor. Joe sees her, a spark of humanity stirring within him. He helps her up and carries her outside. But his headache returns, forcing him to disappear before Maze can thank him. Back at his apartment, Joe realizes he accidentally took Maze's phone. Battling his worsening condition with booze and pills, he collapses into bed. The next day, his doctor delivers crushing news. Years of head trauma have led to a terminal neurodegenerative disorder. Joe has only 3 months to live. Faced with his mortality, Joe makes a decision. He'll tie up loose ends. First, he returns Maze's phone. At her dance studio, their interaction takes an unexpected turn. Maze is charming, and for the first time in years, Joe allows himself to feel something. He clumsily asks her out, setting the stage for a whirlwind romance. For weeks, Joe leads a double life. By day, he's a man falling in love with Maze. By night, he continues his deadly missions across Europe. Yet, the headaches worsen, and when the final test results confirm the worst, Joe spirals. He even considers ending his life until he thinks of Maze. Determined to provide for her after he's gone, Joe hatches a dangerous plan. He hires Antoinette, a rival handler, to put a bounty on his own head. But Antoinette, fueled by a vendetta, turns this into a free-for-all, doubling the payout and attracting Europe's deadliest assassins. Joe's world explodes literally. Assassins descend from every corner. The karaoke-killing Goangang, the brutal Langos brothers, and the deadly party girls. One by one, Joe takes them down in jaw-dropping, blood-soaked battles, each more intense than the last. From smashing a killer's head with a chandelier to outmaneuvering a martial artist with swords, Joe's ingenuity knows no bounds. The carnage crescendos when he detonates explosives in his own apartment, taking out half the assassins in one fiery blast. In the midst of this chaos, Joe receives life-changing news. The test results were wrong. He's not dying. Relief quickly turns to horror as he realizes his own bounty is still active. Maze is now a target. Racing against time, Joe fights his way through waves of killers to save her. In a heart-stopping showdown at an abandoned castle, Joe uses every trick in his arsenal, from hidden traps to hand-to-hand combat. When Maze is kidnapped, Joe's resolve is tested to the limit. But she's no damsel in distress. Maze proves her strength, escaping and joining Joe in the fight. The climax unfolds in a church, where Joe and Maze exchange heartfelt vows amid the chaos. As grenades rain down and bullets fly, Joe confronts Max, Antoinette's most feared assassin. In a brutal, no-holds-barred fight, Joe emerges victorious, but not without Maisie's help. Together, they escape, leaving behind a trail of destruction and a promise to start anew. Joe swears to leave his deadly past behind, focusing on the future with Maise and their unborn child. As the sun rises over a quiet countryside, Joe and Maise drive into the distance, determined to build a life free from violence. For Joe, this isn't just the end of a mission, it's the start of redemption.